Fraser Stretton is the neutral, the referee. But what must be going through the minds of these players? Fans who've spoken to them have talked of nothing else but this fixture for months and months. There has been 7 months of anticipation for this fixture, ever since the day Burnley got promoted at Scunthorpe back in May. All the talking will be over. Don't miss this one.
Here's another one. Then after 17 years, the waiting is over. It's Burnley against Blackburn once again. 21 years since Burnley last beat their closest rivals. Can they do it today? It's back to Brian Marwood and Rob Hawthorne.
Well, the last time this match was staged here, it was David Dunn's 3rd birthday. Now, 10 days short of his 21st birthday, he plays against the team where he was once a schoolboy. Player cam for the first 15 minutes for Sky Digital viewers on Channel 404 is Burnley striker Ian Moore. 17 years and 8 months after this fixture was last staged, Fraser Stretton's whistle gets this one underway. The atmosphere is incredible. The noise has been cascading down from these turf moor terraces, and it's not exactly been a hospitable welcome for Blackburn Rovers. Steve Davis, part of a very experienced Burnley team, and that experience could well be crucial for Stan Ternant's side. Plenty of quality in the Blackburn ranks though. That's Bjornaby. Now Mickey Mellon. And it comes off Bjornaby for the throw-in. Blackburn the victors the last time it was staged, 2-1 at Ewood Park. Both goals were penalties from Simon Garner. And Garner has scored Blackburn's last 4 goals against their local rivals. Paul Weller with the throw. Davis. It's Kevin Ball, dispossessed by Flitcroft and Curtis. It's an almighty clearance by Brad Friedel, who has still to win over the Blackburn fans since his arrival to displace John Filan. Mitchell Thomas. Now Davis, and this is Weller, and it's run out for the throw-in.
Very interesting the way Burnley have set up. We talked about the full-backs getting forward, and really Stan Ternant has picked a positive side. Graham Branch has almost started the game as a left winger. He certainly isn't looking to defend too deep on that left-hand side.
Here's Weller. Cleared by Henning Berg. Now Flitcroft. This is done. Curtis with McAteer an option to his right. Done again. It's a good challenge by Branch. Mellon comes in to take over. And here's Andy Payton. Kevin Ball. Davis. Ball has had plenty of top-flight experience and has been in North-East derbies in the past.
That experience is going to be vital today. We talked earlier about Mark Hughes' influence on the Blackburn side. Kevin Ball is certainly someone you cannot underestimate. He's such a character. And I know Peter Reid felt he'd done such a magnificent job up at Sunderland, and now obviously doing a very similar job here at Burnley.
Back by Weller, getting in front of his man, Damien Duff. There's Taylor. And a few neutrals experiencing this very partisan atmosphere. The Sunderland boss, Peter Reid, Kevin Ball's old boss here today.
He arrived in a pretty foul mood, and that wasn't because of the result. Yes, it was because he was stuck in traffic for 2 hours.
has already been called for. That's the first casualty of the afternoon.
2 balls on the field. I've never seen that before.
Well, the rivalry between these two all the more intense for what's gone on since they were last in the same division. Blackburn with 7 years in the top flight of winning the Premiership, Burnley almost relegated from the league. But here goes Ian Moore, driving himself right across, and before Branch could get there, it was a crucial clearance from Jason McAteer.
Well, that's as good a defensive clearance you're ever going to see. This is what we talked about. Moore's excellent at running at people. He really does leave Taylor for dead. But just look at Jason McAteer. He knows Branch is behind him. That's such a vital touch.
It's Mellon's delivery, and Davis who meets it. Steve Davis, who's scored 5 goals already this season. But Jason McAteer, what a piece of defending that was.
Well, I was saying how much that Branch had really pushed on so quickly in this game, and he very nearly got an opportunity. Wonderful foraging by Moore, and really he did think he'd set it on a plate for Branch, but great defending.
Here's Damien Duff. McAteer is up to his right, Duff looking to weave a way through, and it was Cook who got a vital toe to that.
I think he's so important to Blackburn, Rob. Damien Duff, he really is an exciting talent. He loves to drift and go at players. Certainly Burnley are going to have to be on their toes.
Here's Marcus Bent looking to get the better of Cox. It's McAteer who swept it across, and it's Thomas who deals with it initially. Flitcroft just doing a bit of pushing there on ball.
It's actually quite interesting, the chance that we've just seen, Rob, with the way that the 2 front players linked up from the throw-in, and it was quite unusual, really. I talked about the right sort of service, but it was Payton's little flick on with his head, and Moore, who loves to run at defenders, certainly got the better of Taylor.
It's a crowd here at Turf Moor today that's expected to give Burnley record receipts. 5 years ago, who would have thought that this fixture would be on the calendar? And Blackburn were winning the Premiership and Burnley were being relegated from this division. Nicky Mellon fouled by Duff. And it's Cook who's taken it with that sweet left foot of his, cleared by Berg. Cook. Davis has stayed in the attack, that's Payton, now Mellon. Kevin Ball looking to launch one.
Oh, this is good pressure from the home side. They really have been buoyed by that chance a little bit earlier. This is good pressure. Really, Davis twice really out-jumped the Blackburn defence, and well, that wasn't far away, certainly with Kevin Ball's left foot, because he isn't renowned from scoring volleys from 25 yards out, that's for sure.
Not renowned for scoring at all yet for Burnley. Kevin Ball. Marcus Bent is down, an injury picked up in the build-up.
Well, I think that Marcus Bent just really tried to put Mitchell Thomas under pressure, perhaps just got caught in the rib area, but I'm sure he'll be very quickly to recover. But what is an interesting area as far as both sides are concerned is that central midfield. I think that with Burnley playing 3 in there, Mellon, Ball and Cook, against the Blackburn 2 of Flitcroft and Dunn, at times they're going to be outnumbered. And I think the sooner Blackburn can transfer the ball into wide areas, that's certainly going to be beneficial to the visitors.
Despite the death of Jack Walker, Graham Souness has continued the spending. He bought Marcus Bent, he's bought Henning Berg this week. He was frustrated in his attempts to bring in Matthew Jones when Leicester stepped in. It's a sign that Blackburn's ambition hasn't dimmed and that the resources are still there despite the sad passing of their late owner. Bjornaby winning the throw, hitting it against Weller. The Blackburn team that's out today, incidentally, cost some £12 million compared with the £2.5 million that Burnley cost. Hughes wins the free kick. Bjornaby to take it.
Taylor's just making a late run now in our picture.
He didn't get there in time, and it's cleared from in front of Hughes. McAteer finding himself under pressure, ball launches himself in, but it's fallen here to Duff, who's been forced to retreat. Berg lets it go, and Friedel was very quick off his line before Payton could get there. Flitcroft. Taylor. Flitcroft to Curtis. McAteer coming under pressure from Branch, who caught him.
We really expect somebody of Kevin Ball's experience to calm things down. It's the complete opposite for Ball, isn't it? Loves to get involved.
Hughes looking to make an opening here for, or Dunn rather looking to make an opening for Hughes, who was waiting in the middle.
That was excellent footwork. I actually think that may be a good area for Blackburn Rovers to exploit on that right-hand side, especially the way that Branch has pushed on. He really is so far in advance for a left wing-back. As I said earlier, he's almost playing as a left winger.
Bent. Cook. Now more to test the nerve of young Martin Taylor. Curtis. Henning Berg. Damien Duff. This is Dunn. Curtis. McAteer. Here's Flitcroft. It's behind Bent. Moore.
It's a good little spell for Blackburn Rovers. They've kept the ball extremely well. Not sure how far high Mark Hughes' boot was there. Very close to Paul Weller's forehead, I know that.
Davis being forced back by Duff. Nicopolis, who hasn't conceded in the last 5 games here. Burnley have had an excellent home record. In fact, they're the only unbeaten team at home in this division. Ball's hooked it through. Moore, and it's come back to him. It's Ian Moore.
Well, Blackburn caused their own problems here, Rob. Just look at the way they're defending. They certainly are all at sea. Big gap between the two centre-halves. He's a little bit fortunate, Ian Moore, in the way that he got the ball back, and Friedel a fairly comfortable save at the end, but that's what Moore can bring. He's certainly unpredictable, loves to attack defenders. Blackburn are going to have to go a little bit tighter. They can't allow the front two, Payton and Moore, that sort of room.
Moore scored a quality goal last week in the local derby at Preston that put Burnley ahead, but it wasn't enough as it turned out. Mellon getting involved, Payton going down, the challenge was from Bjornaby, and it's now the moment for the referee to try and take some of the heat out of it. He's been as lenient as he could be so far, but I wonder if he might think now is the time to make his presence felt with the showing of a card.
Well, that's a silly challenge, really, and Bjornaby ought to have known better. It's a late challenge from behind, but I believe the referee has taken the sensible option. I think once you start brandishing yellow cards in a game like this, then there's only going to be one outcome, and that's going to be plenty of red cards. And really, there's just players there that are battling, and this is a late tackle on Payton, and it's cost Bjornaby just a ticking off.
No caution then. Bjornaby gets away with a lecture. Sliced across by Weller. It's Flitcroft underneath it. Mellon. Branch. It's Cook. And Thomas is offside.
Certainly both managers have been reasonably happy with the start. I think that they've had periods of possession. It's a little bit difficult in games like that. I know that both managers, certainly the experience that they've got over the years managing and also playing, they'll know it's difficult for the players out there. They'll know the type of passion that's associated with a game like this.
Stan Ternent is very much a local man. He lives in this community, and it's dependent on the result tonight whether he'll have a night out or not.
Well, he's done a fantastic job here, hasn't he? Of course, getting them promoted last season, really enabling this charge so far on this division, and certainly on limited resources, on resources that when you look at their side you'd think, well, they've done incredibly well to be in the position that they are.
7 free transfers in the starting 11 for Burnley. They've just spent their first £1 million on a player in the form of Ian Moore, whereas the Blackburn team contains 5 players who cost £1 million or more. Here's Weller, a homegrown product, and that's something that Burnley intend to work on in the long term. Their youth policy hasn't provided too many nuggets of late, and needs a complete overhaul, it seems. Weller. Mellon, and the flag has stayed down here for Kevin Ball. Weller again. Bjornaby who cuts it out. Weller though not giving it up, hanging in there, grimly determined. Controlled by McAteer, and the pressure from Branch forces him to concede the throw. And David Dunn of Blackburn now moves into the focus of player cam for Sky Digital viewers on Channel 404. Hooked across by Cook, and away by Bjornaby. It's broken here for Moore. No free kick. Moore felt he'd been brought down by McAteer. Bent's lay off to Hughes.
Quite theatrical, wasn't it, by Ian Moore, and I think that didn't do him any favours with the referee.
Ball piling in on David Dunn, who felt he should have had something, but the referee couldn't have had a better view of it, only a couple of yards away. Mellon.
Well, he's desperate to allow the game to flow, isn't he, the referee, and I think he's done a superb job so far. I think it's always important, I think, when you have an official that is prepared to allow the flow at the best of times, and certainly on a day like today when you would expect lots of free kicks, no doubt you would have expected lots of bookings by now in the opening quarter of an hour, but that hasn't happened. It's reasonably even, isn't it? Burnley just shading it on possession.
Mellon. Thomas. Bjornaby. Duff. Just checked by Weller. Free kick.
I do believe Duff is the key to Blackburn Rovers. If they're to get anything out of this game today, Rob, they've got to get the ball wide to him. And certainly against Weller. Weller loves to get forward from that right wing back role. Not so sure when he's going to have to defend.
Taylor has come forward, the huge figure from the back. Bjornaby's delivery was in towards Hughes. It's done underneath it. Hughes, who's helped it back. Duff drives it across.
Tell you what, it wasn't a bad effort, was it? Certainly cross come shot, but he has got a sweet left foot. I mean, this was always measured. He knew exactly what he was doing, tried to put a little bit of bend on it. I don't think the goalkeeper would have got anywhere near it. If that had got very close to the far post, there you can see the keeper can only stand and watch.
Burnley starting the day ahead of their local rivals in the table. It's 21 years since they finished in such a position ahead of Blackburn, and even then they were on the way down. Blackburn were on the way up as they changed divisions between this one and the one below. Here's Hughes. Curtis. Making a move for him. Hughes is waiting in the middle. Mitchell Thomas, who's had plenty of encounters with Mark Hughes in the past, was comfortable enough in clearing that one. Cox this time has to deal with Marcus Bent.
Once again, it's that right-hand side that they do look a threat. You'd expect it to come from Damien Duff on the left-hand side, but it's because Branch is pushing so far forward. Cook's almost having to slot in there as a left-back at times, and there is a big gaping hole for Blackburn to probe down that right-hand side.
Headed by Davis. Held back by Bent. Curtis gets it across. As Duff went to challenge, it was Weller who got it clear. Kevin Ball. Mellon. Cook. Warned about the impending arrival of McAteer, but when Branch was the option, he's given it away to Curtis. Nice work from Cook. Davis.
Well, again, you can see that Branch is trying to get forward as quickly as possible, almost playing 1-against-1 with John Curtis. He was so close, wasn't he, from scoring that first goal in this match. A goal that really would have lifted the roof.
Davis. Back comes McAteer, who prevented Branch from scoring that opening goal. Given away by Curtis this time. And now by Davis. McAteer. Here's Bjornaby. Duff. Flitcroft. An advantage played from the referee after Duff had gone down. Bent's touch. Flitcroft.
Well, again, I think the referee has to be applauded with the way that he's allowed this game to flow, Rob.
Payton. David Dunn coming back against Mellon, but in slides Paul Weller. Mellon. Cook. This is Branch. Flitcroft has given away the free kick.
He's certainly going the long way around, wasn't he, Graham? Branch had the opportunity to try and get wide on the left, but elected to cut inside into a lot of bodies, but it's won the home side of free kick. What can they conjure up? Davies is going to be an obvious threat. You see him at the top of our picture. 5 goals already this season.
Well, aims it in the direction of Davis. Thomas has gone into the opposing penalty area as well. Cook provides some quality. Taylor is underneath it. Blackburn look for the break in the form of Bent. Flitcroft had found him well. Hughes is up, but Burnley have 5 back here. Still a lot of work to be done. Flitcroft.
Well, that was a great opportunity for Blackburn Rovers, Rob. It really was.
Now Ball helps it on. Taylor has it covered against Payton.
Jason McAteer had made a magnificent run. Really, Blackburn had bodies over, but Marcus Bent's final ball wasn't of enough quality to really trouble Burnley.
Marcus Bent. Cook. Payton had gone inside.
Well, Bent's moaning at the referee at the moment. Certainly, Mitchell Thomas didn't do anything wrong whatsoever. He was just strong, he was determined, as you would expect from his centre-halves.
Mitchell Thomas, who's played in the North London derby, which will be showing live on Sky tomorrow. He's also played in Luton Watford games, but I'm sure the atmosphere here today more than on a par. There's good pressure by Moore, the forced Friedel to concede the throw-in. Well,
was looking for it, wasn't he? Oh, Weller, he's won his side a free kick. Again, it's important to get the right sort of delivery in there. Davies, Thomas are both going forward now. There'll be an obvious threat.
Well, they look to take the quick one and find more. It was well read, and Dunn gets it away. Burnley. Cox. Burnley. Here's John Curtis. Hughes having to hold off Mitchell Thomas. Flitcroft. Hughes.
Oh, he's such an excellent target man, isn't he, Mark Hughes? Just a couple of occasions there, he's got the ball into either his chest or his feet. He's so strong, he really is, and Mitchell Thomas felt that he could have a little nibble there, try and win the ball back, but I think that's one of the reasons why Mark Hughes has been such a great leader of the line all these years.
11 years ago this weekend, Mitchell Thomas got the better of Mark Hughes when Tottenham beat Manchester United 1-0. The result that Thomas is hoping Burnley can repeat today against Hughes' current side. Ball underneath the free kick. Here's Weller. Bent. And well by Cox. Branch.
Well, again, really, Burnley have got to try and keep it wide. That's 2-3 occasions Graham Branch has picked the ball up, elected to come in field. That's going to be the strength of Burnley, especially with their wing backs and especially on that left hand side, because already Branch has very nearly scored a goal.
Here's Bent. McAteer. Now Flitcroft. McAteer is ahead of him, just moving inside now. Bent's headed down. Duff being forced out by Weller, who's got to be careful with the challenge. They all let it go, it drifted past Hughes, and it was well left by Graham Branch.
A superb play from Damien Duff. He really is a quality player. Perhaps a player that almost may well have just lost his way over the last couple of years, had injuries. It's Graham Souness now down on the touchline, urging his players. Actually started the game very well. I'm sure he'll be delighted. They've just took the sting out of the emphasis Burnley had early on in this game, and now they're showing one or two quality moments.
Graham Souness has been involved in derby matches all over the globe, and he says that these are the sort of games that make or break players, the sort that used to turn him on. Bent down injured.
Probably the first time that the referee, Mr. Stratton, has elected in his favour, and he just looked to nick the ball off to David Dunn, and Cox just caught him late.
And they've got on with the taking of it very quickly, and as Duff drives it across, it's a good job for Burnley that Cook was alert.
Well, he went to sleep, didn't he? Good creative thinking from Blackburn Rovers. Duff got in. Almost looked to provide a quality ball across the face of the goal.
some fearful stick. He lives in Great Harwood, which is surrounded by Burnley and Blackburn fans. So he really is in the middle of this derby rivalry. He takes the corner now, David Dunn, and Cook meets it. Duff looks to get through, and his foot was raised, and he caught Cook in the waistline.
Thankfully, Cook's up on his feet again. It wasn't the best challenge, was it? I think it's quite not only described as a striker's challenge, that I think commonly known throughout the game.
Here's Mellon. Cook. Lex to clear. Ball. Thomas. Andy Payton.
He had more time, Rob. He had more time because Andy Berg had slipped, he'd gone to ground, but some poor defending again. Just look at the distance between Berg and Payton. As a Payton slipped, I don't think he realised how much time he had.
Yonaby. Well, the atmosphere here unrelenting, but a third of the way through the game still. Nothing to choose between these two, who started the day 3 places apart in the table. Moore again giving Taylor something to think about, and Taylor standing up to the test.
It was good closing down, but just look at the gap between the two front players and the midfield players of Burnley. That's when you need a little bit of support and help.
Player cam for the final 15 minutes or so of the half will concentrate on Burnley's Andy Payton. That's for Sky Digital viewers on channel 404. Here's Paul Cook. Cleared by Taylor. Ambitious one from Moore. Cook, Branch. Through, Flitcroft sorted that. There's Davis sticking tight to Marcus Bent.
Read the situation superbly well, didn't he, Mitchell Thomas? But unfortunately, his header really couldn't have been directed at the goalkeeper. It's put unnecessary pressure on his back four, conceding that corner.
Forward comes Taylor again. Stick that David Dunn gets continues to be merciless. Right in front of the Burnley fans, he swings this one in. Yet again, Cook deals with it. Payton. Curtis. And away by Weller.
That's fairly even, isn't it? And as you would expect, a lot of possession and action in that midfield area. Not an awful lot to talk about. Only one particular instance so early in the game when Moore did superbly well on this right-hand side. And it was the cross that very nearly created Burnley's goal, but wonderful piece of defending from Jason McAteer. Read the situation marvellously well.
Hughes. Here's Dunn. Taylor. Burnley just one win short of levelling the overall tally with Blackburn in previous league fixtures. Blackburn won the last two, both in the old second division. Here's Cook.
Paul Cook a little bit further up the field than that, Rob. At times he's just dropping in amongst the centre-halves and trying to create things from deep, but he possesses so much quality in his left foot, they need him further up the field.
Away goes Weller. Bjornaby from the throw. More derby action to come for you tomorrow from 7 o'clock. Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra. Tottenham against Arsenal, the big North London derby. And on Tuesday, that's a rearranged quarter-final match. Crystal Palace against Sunderland in the Worthington Cup. That's from 7:30 on Sky Sports 2. And Peter Reid will be hoping he doesn't have another wasted journey to South London.
We all hope we're not going to have a wasted journey to South London.
Well, I'm sure he'll feel it's been a worthwhile journey here today. Horrendous as it was for him, getting through the congested traffic outside. And his language when describing it was its usual reserved self. Stan Turnant and Graham Souness looking for that little bit of inspiration, a little bit of imagination that's going to bring about the opening goal.
There's so much passion as there around this game, and the hype that would have been built up right through the week ahead of this match. And as far as passion and commitment is concerned, we haven't been let down or disappointed. What we're looking for now is that little bit extra quality, a little bit of quality that'll just win this football match.
Here's Cook. Space for Davis to move into here. Ball lets it run and Bjornaby's there to mop up. Mark Hughes, McAteer has made the forward run. And dealt with well by Mitchell Thomas. Mellon. A loose one from him. The action ball having to try and retrieve it. And Mellon now offended to win the free kick.
Blackburn's problems are their own making at the moment, because they have defended reasonably well. They haven't been troubled that often. Friedel's had one save to make from the shot from the edge of the box, but really other than that, you would expect Burnley to perhaps try and put them under a little bit more pressure. And where Blackburn have got to score is they've got to get more quality in their final third.
Paul Cook. Ball challenged by Flipcroft. And back well though by Ball, who remains as committed as ever. Here's Branch. Had to take it inside and go alone when Payton and Moore were options in the box. Dunn, the player offended against. And Cook now being called towards the referee. And it is going to be the first booking of the game.
Well, I think the referee had no alternative there, because David Dunn had a lot of space to run into, and Paul Cook had just pulled him back. The referee, who has maintained a great professionalism right through this first half, tried to maintain the flow of the game.
Hughes working one through, and the shot from Dunn coming back off the defender. Curtis. Hughes. And he's managed to get past Davis. It's Damien Duff. Blocked from right in front of the goalkeeper. Blackburn claim with an arm. Davis looks the picture of innocence. But Blackburn were looking there for a big decision from the referee that wasn't forthcoming.
Well, Davies did brilliantly, and it was actually his initial mistake. He really should not have allowed Mark Hughes to get past him in that vein, and really Duff, it falls to his right foot, not his favoured left foot. That looks a handball.
Well, while at the other end Weller was looking to break, it didn't happen for him, but Davies may have struck lucky.
Well, it was his error that really very nearly cost him, and there you can see, well, that's very debatable. The referee had it absolutely spot on in the sense of his positioning. May well have just done enough to show a shoulder opposed to a hand or an arm, and that may well have swayed the referee's call at the end of the day.
Curtis. Flitcroft. Berg. Nicopolis from Pap Salonika. Away by Thomas. Here's Duff. And Duff unable to find anyone with that cross, but he could have opened the scoring with that effort that was blocked by Davies.
Well, we can see again really the incident that will be talked about no doubt at half-time. There's Duff getting on his right-hand side, but as we stop it there, can really see where Mr. Stretton is. He's absolutely superbly positioned, he can see, but I really did think that it was an arm that was used by Davies.
You want to be finding Duff again. Blackburn becoming more of a threat as he gets into the game more. Back from Flitcroft to Dunn. Given away by Cook. Dunn. McAteer's cross. Bent has got up there. May have been going wide anyway, but Davies wasn't about to take any chances.
It was a magnificent leap, wasn't it, from Bent? And I think that if Blackburn can get that quality in the final third, there's something here for them, Rob.
Bjornaby. Bent. And here's Weller.
Well, they're getting deeper and deeper and deeper at the moment, Burnley, and Blackburn are pushing them back with a lot of quality, and Bent was very close there, but Davies again in the right place.
Davies in forward motion now for Burnley. Payton just at the edge of the box, more out wide. Mellon. Not too much on for him ahead of him. Branch out to his left. Mellon. Midfield bank, making sure that there's no way through at the moment.
It's good defending. Good defending, good organisation from Blackburn. There's two banks of four. What it's done is just slowed the momentum of this particular attack.
Cook is screaming for it out on the left, but Cox has gone out to this right-hand side where it's very congested, and he's done well to get as far as he did. Well, the referee was going to give a goal kick, but the assistant has flagged for a corner.
Actually a free kick. I think that he felt that Cox had been impeded, but that particular attack needed some urgency, and that's exactly what Ian Cox gave it.
Damien Duff inevitably begs to differ. But it's a free kick that's as good as a corner for Paul Cook or Mellon, who are the two options to take it. It's Mellon who swings it across. And good handling by Friedel under pressure.
That was an excellent catch, it really was. Ball perhaps just floated a little bit too high for the oncoming Burnley players, but Friedel, he had to be dominant, he had to come through a clutch of players. Very nearly Marcus Bent heads it out of his arms, but good goalkeeping.
McAteer. Duff. Davis.
You can see really 4 attempts from Burnley, 3 from Blackburn, but predominantly a lot of possession in that midfield area.
Here's Mickey Mellon, it's suddenly opened up for him.
Well, he just has possessed that wonderful composure. There you can see the room that Mellon gets, just glides past Berg again into that area where Blackburn have had problems, in particular the area where Henning Berg is supposedly patrolling.
We're into the 2 minutes of stoppage time that the referee has added on for the first half. Here's Steve Davis. Damien Duff. Bjornaby. Thomas. It's done. Marcus Bent, covered by Branch. And here's Davis. Beyond Hughes, it's touched back and in! Jason McAteer, after confusion in the Burnley defence from the long throw-in, and it's the visitors who've taken the lead.
Well, this is an absolute mess, it really is as far as Burnley's concerned. They just do not handle this throw-in from the initial challenge by Marcus Bent, but just really look at Cook. He really does allow the midfield player to get in amongst that particular area where you really would have expected a defender to cope with it. There's Cook, there's Thomas, and there's McAteer. Isn't it amazing? McAteer was the player so early in the game that kept Blackburn in it, and then right on half-time he gets the important goal.
Yes, Jason McAteer with vital contributions at both ends in the first half. A vital interception to prevent Graham Branch from opening the scoring, and then the headed goal right on the stroke of half-time after Blackburn had penalty appeals turned down for an apparent handball. Half-time Blackburn lead.
Item